toss. And here is the starting lineup made by Julian Lopetegui. 6 changes made from the side that drew 0-0 with Real Sociedad on match day 29. Yacine Bono in goal at the back. It's Navas, Koundé, Diego Carlos and Karim Rekic, with Navancha Kudeli in central midfield, flanked by Ivan Rakitic and Juan Jordan. Eric Lamela and Lucas Ocampos flanking the leader of the line, Anthony Martial, tonight for Sevilla. Dimitrovic, Augustinsson, Delaney, Oliver Torres, Tecatito and Munir, all replaced from the side that drew with Real Sociedad. Bono, Diego Carlos, Rekic, Rakitic, Jordan and Lamela take their place, and as always it's been a really tough problem for Julian Lopetegui, the injury situation Sevilla have been going through. We'll talk about that and much more in a moment, but first a moment of silence in memory of Raimon Carrasco, a former president of Football Club Barcelona. Hi Jamie, I hope you're keeping your ears warm.
It's quite freezing, Simon, here in the Camp Nou, but there's an incredible atmosphere from the very moment the team arrived at the stadium, with fans welcoming them outside the stadium and now inside the stadium. Probably one of the best entrances of the season.
Well, that's understandable given the importance for Spain's Big Two of the Clásico and the resounding victory Xavi's Barcelona pulled off in the Bernabeu 2 weeks ago. Xavi, since then, it hasn't been so easy for Xavi, because practically everyone who's out there in the starting 11 has been away with their national sides.
Yeah, exactly. And well, Busquets has been rested. Pedri played the first game with the national side, but the second game, most of the game he was rested. And yeah, all the others, obviously there's a lot of internationals there, but well, I think the objective is there, and they will do 100% to get it.
And it's a positive start as Frankie de Jong finds Ferran Torres just floating around the edge of the box. He misplaces his pass, puts it into the path of Navas, and Ivan Rakitic returning it to the Sevilla captain. Rakitic, of course, much loved and respected here in the Camp Nou. Nobody getting that. It goes through nicely to Anthony Martial. It's played out now to Rekic. Big game for Karim Rekic tonight, and problems already. It's Sergio Busquets who's in a prone position on the pitch of the Camp Nou, and it looks as though he might have been called by his teammate and partner in crime, Gerard Piqué.
Yeah, it's been a clash between them two. Sergio Busquets didn't expect Gerard Piqué coming from behind, and it was a big collision, so let's see if he's able to recover. At the moment that he went on the ground, he didn't move. I think it's not going to be, well, he's saying, I don't know if he pointed like a substitution, but Gavi's already warming up.
I think you have to be better safe than sorry with any knock of that kind, Chappie. And talking of knocks like that, Yacine Bono wasn't by any means assured of starting in goal for Sevilla today. He took a nasty knock on the head playing for Morocco against the Democratic Republic of Congo in the international break, and he was only confirmed that he'd be even in the matchday squad yesterday. So obviously this is more serious than it may initially have looked.
Well,
But the good news, it seems, is that the stretcher buggy is being taken away and Sergio Busquets gets to his feet. Jamie, I don't know if you can fill us in, if you have a better perspective from down there pitch side.
Well, now the referee is talking with Sergio Busquets, and Busquets is together with Ricard Pruna. There we see them, the doctor of Barcelona. Now he's speaking with Xavi Hernandez. Xavi's clapping his hands on his back, and it seems like he will be able to return to the pitch.
Well, with the kind of cold that we're feeling in Barcelona tonight, that's not the kind of start you want 2 minutes into the game.
No, of course not. And now he will have to be careful the next minutes, just in case he feels dizzy or something. But at the moment, it seems like he's going to be okay.
Diego Carlos on the ball for Sevilla, one of the players back in the team today. Campos taking on Alves. Alves coming out on top, and a huge cheer from the home fans. Such a popular figure, the veteran Brazilian, an out-and-out winner. And he's the wrong change from that side that started in the Bernabeu 2 weeks ago.
But we've just seen the first idea of Sevilla, which is playing long balls to Ocampos at the back of Dani Alves, who is going to be the defender that possibly will suffer the most with this kind of balls.
Pedri to Alves on the overlap. The move starting with Aubameyang. It's an appeal for handball against Lucas Ocampos. There will be a free kick to Barcelona.
There's going to be a big battle, Simon, because obviously Dani Alves is very offensive, no doubt about the handball, and Ocampos too. So let's see who wins the battle in terms of making the rival defend more time than really attack.
Well, Dembele and Alves standing over this one. It could well be suitable for Dembele. Of course, you never know which foot he's going to use, but for a left footer, this one's set up nicely. Let's see how Barcelona choose to take it. Will it be Alves? Will it be Ousmane Dembele?
I'm not going to say about watch out with Araujo.
Well, watch out with Araujo. It's Alves driving it in. Who was going towards Piqué, headed away nicely by the man who committed the handball, Lucas Ocampos. Frankie de Jong on the ball. Here's Pedri turning it to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Played a game and a half for Germany over the international break. It's good early, such an important role. The lack of Fernando in central midfield is a real headache for Lopetegui. He's such an important presence. Kunde back to Yassine Bono. There's Karim Rekik. Big footwork from him. Kudeli. Picks out Jules Kunde. There's the evergreen Jesus Navas. He plays well and picks out Ocampos wide on the left. Anthony Martial. Jordan. Finding Eric Lamela. Well, they're spreading the ball from flank to flank, Sevilla, and doing so well. Here's Navas. Lamela. Jordan. Kunde squares it. Diego Carlos. Picks out Rekik. Whips the cross in. Martial watching it and watching it float over his head. Still Sevilla come forward. Navas on the ball.
But this is one of the characteristics of Sevilla, Simon. What you just said is flank to flank. They play the ball to the left. The ball is played back. At the moment that that ball is played back, the player who receives the ball knows that he has to switch play to the other side. The wingers remain very, very wide open. And this is a way to move Barcelona from side to side.
Problem for Sevilla this season, but particularly over the last couple of months, has been a lack of goals. They have no problems at the back, only 19 goals conceded all season in the 29 La Liga games they've played so far, the meanest, tightest defence in the division, and they're taking on free-scoring Barcelona. 26 goals in their last 7 La Liga fixtures. Quite an astonishing tally for Xavi's men. It's a throw to Barcelona.
That's extraordinary, the numbers that you just said about Sevilla, Simon, because they've been hit by a lot of injuries, even in defence, with Jesus Navas, Diego Carlos, Acuña, most of the players injured through the season, and they still defended very well, and they kept a lot of clean sheets.
Here's Ferran Torres. Let's wait for Lamela. Going to try to go on. Well, let's put it down as a sighter for Ferran Torres. 4 goals so far in La Liga Santander for him, and showing all his confidence there, confidence which the manager's given him, even when he was receiving maybe one or two criticisms for being a bit profligate in front of goal. Xavi has always insisted on his quality.
And playing in a flank that we didn't see that it would be very very good for him. We normally saw him play him as a right winger, and because Dembele is playing there, he comes to play on the left, and he does very well. Every time that he receives the ball wide, he takes players 1v1, he comes inside to finish with his strong foot. So a fantastic game from Ferran.
Aubameyang earning the applause of the fans for the pressure he puts on Diego Carlos there. Sevilla winning back. Kunde picks out
Navas. Simon, that who won the applause was Araujo from Xavi Hernandez. He especially congratulated the defender after that pass towards Ferran Torres, and we all remember what Xavi Hernandez said earlier this season about Araujo and playing with his feet.
Well, he's proving to be an absolutely vital part of the Barcelona defence. Ronald Araujo. And as you pointed out, Jappy, such a great threat up front.
Yeah, I don't know what you think, Simon, but he obviously still needs to improve. But it reminds me Carlos Puyol kind of a centre-back. Is it again Ocampos there? And that's Rekic.
Rekic doesn't quite keep it in play. Yes, he does. Play continues. Now it's Ocampos, gets into the area, loses his footing while trying the shot. Pedri playing the ball out, surrounded by white shirts. He plays it back. Ter Stegen decides to leave it. Under pressure from Martial, Jordi Alba clears. He's going to have to get rid of the danger, and does so by picking out Dani Alves.
The point, Simon, I wanted to make, I think that you agree with me, is that obviously Xavi just said about Araujo is, his build-up is not the greatest, but wasn't Carlos Puyol either, so and was one of the most successful centre-backs of the history of Barcelona. So
there's that sense of aggression and competitive edge, isn't there?
Exactly. So I think there's not necessary that the two centre-backs really are extraordinary with the fit. I think one is Piqué, who is the one who builds up, and Araujo, I think, is very crucial also.
You also have, of course, Eric Garcia, very able with the ball at his feet, perhaps lacking in some of that physicality that Araujo excels in. Here is Araujo on the ball, he leaves it for Dani Alves. Dembele, very free to his right. There is Dembele taking on Rekic and getting past him with ease. Whips the cross into the near post. Diego Carlos heads clear. It comes to Busquets. And Araujo picks up Piqué as Barcelona start again. Dani Alves. Once more finding Dembele. You get the impression it might be a hairy night for Rekic. Good ball into Frank. Return ball to Dembele. Dembele twists, turns. Couldn't quite.
The plans are bigger, the possibilities are bigger, the options that they have are more, and this is Dembele again.
Taking the ball off Rekic, the cross was not his greatest, and the defence managed to get it away. It comes back for Dembele. He finds Frenkie de Jong into the box. Back to Dembele. That's a better cross. It's punched clear by Yassine Bono. Got away by Ivan Rakitic. Anthony Martial helping out as well. Here's Ocampos. And now Eric Lamela. Araujo sticking to him. Support offered here by Rakitic. Gives it away to Dembele, but it will be a Sevilla throw. And there's a serious look on the face of Julian Lopetegui. How do you expect Sevilla to respond to this early pressure from Barcelona?
Well, talking about Sevilla is exactly the example that we talked about Barcelona before. It seems like they have just a plan, which is basically playing long balls to the wingers and attack from there. Obviously, Acuña is not there, so Rekic is not going to be so offensive. It seems to me they lack a little bit, Simon, of plan B, and that plan B most of the times it was Papu Gomez. It was a different player.
Yeah.
We're going to see another long ball for Martial. So without Papu Gomez, obviously they have the City, they have Munir, they have Rafa Mir on the bench, but Papu was the different one, was the player able to change the play of Sevilla if it was needed. As in this injury, I think they have been suffering a lot.
Dani Alves crossing into the Sevilla half. Kicks out Ferran Torres. Still Ferran. Now Dembele's cross to the far post, nobody there except for Yassine Bono, who collects comfortably enough. Well, it's only fair, I think, to emphasise the injury problems Sevilla have had unavailable for this game today. Delaney, Acuna, Fernando's a huge miss, as we've already said. Suso, Papu, so important, as you point out, Chappie. Oliver Torres, and a lot of players too who've come back from international duty, and it's been tough for Julian Lopetegui. I get the impression over the last couple of weeks from his comments yesterday pre-game, and he's left certain players, especially attacking players, on the bench. Has the opportunity to change things perhaps in the second half. Meanwhile, here's Navas. His cross is blocked by Jordi Alba, but kept in play by Jordan. Navas returning it to him. Lamela finding Gudeli. Ocampos calling for it. Gudeli overhits the pass. But on the bench, for example, for Sevilla tonight, Montiel and Augustinsson, the defenders, but Tecatito, Munir, Rafa Mir, En-Nesyri, all out-and-out attacking players, and positive options for Lopetegui, depending on how the game goes.
Exactly, this is the point I wanted to make, Simon, that despite all the absentees, all the injuries, the depth of this squad is extraordinary, because having so many players injured, just all that you name, still Montiel, still Tecatito, still Rafa Mir, still En-Nesyri on the bench. So that tells you how well built was this squad from the beginning. Unfortunately, they pick up some injuries at the same time, a lot of players, but that's why, because of the depth of the squad, I think that's why it's still second, that's why it's still competing. Obviously not playing at the 100%, but listen, with all these absentees at that stage of the season still being second, I think that's fantastic.
Yep, as Lamela tries to link with Anthony Martial, but it will be a Barcelona throw. Do you think it's in any way disappointing, the fact that in this 15-game unbeaten run there have been so many draws and 7 draws in the last 9, or do you put it down to the injury problems Lopetegui's had?
Yeah, I think it has to do with injury problems and key players, Simon, because if we're talking about Sevilla and possibly, as I said, Papu Gomez able to be involved in every single game, I think Sevilla would have played differently. But there are some key players that they're not available, and that's that's a bit of a pain for Sevilla. But anyway, I think they're doing great. Obviously, for the Sevilla supporters, if they drop from second position today, they might see a little bit disappointed. But the season so far is fantastic considering the circumstances.
Dembele trying to link with Ferran, but sending it directly out for a Sevilla goal kick. The disappointment perhaps for Sevilla being knocked out of the Champions League and then the Europa League, which they fell into, knocked out by West Ham United, and also, of course, that defeat in the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey to neighbours and rivals Betis in a tremendously controversial quarter-final clash. But still second, and even losing today, they'll be tied on points with both Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. It's Anthony Martial. Good interception from Aubameyang,
who really did a big impact, isn't it? Let's see Dembele first if he gets to the ball.
Well defended by Diego Carlos. Bono very calm and relaxed as he returns it to the big Brazilian centre-back. I was going to ask you too about Aubameyang's impact. I mean, the impact is the stat I mentioned before kickoff, a goal every 63 minutes.
Yeah, and a real finisher, and a player that I think Xavi was giving some instructions to him. And for what we understand, I think he was saying that sometimes he has to drop to leave the space for someone else. So he's able to do that at the same time. When the cross gets into the box, he is already there for the finishing. So it's been a fantastic addition for Barcelona and very crucial player for the team now. But when we talk before it was about Martial, that when he was signed for Sevilla, everybody said that's going to be a fantastic signing. At the moment, it didn't make the big impact that we expected, isn't it?
No goals so far in Laliga Santander with Sevilla for Anthony Martial. He'll be hoping to change that tonight. Dani Alves picks out Jordi Alba, supported here by Ferran. Now Pedri, quick to look for the 1-2 with Aubameyang. It comes to Jordi Alba, whose shot is wide and high, but not by too much.
Well, that was a good run from Jordi Alba. I think the 1-2 of that ball from Aubameyang, it was for Pedri, but it was too long and Alba was there. And Navas had to choose between Pedri and Jordi Alba. He chose Pedri, but then he had to change his mind and he had to go to Alba. So very difficult for a right back if you see that two players are coming to you in the same place. So, well, a lot of work for Alba. And Sevilla is still trying to catch Dani Alves out of position, but that's one of the key things of Barcelona. Araujo is playing alongside Dani Alves, basically to protect him.
It's one of the things, Xavi, that Lopetegui is insisting on Rekic, to find always that position from Ocampos.
Pedri with a good run, but misplaces the pass, and it's dealt with by Jules Koundé. Navas loses out to Aubameyang. Koundé trying to win it back. Aubameyang finding Busquets, who goes down under the challenge of Rakitic, told to get straight back up. Here's Alves, and he just strikes it too firmly for Ousmane Dembélé to control.
I think Frenkie de Jong is asking for a substitution. It seemed to me that he just talked to the bench and said that he was...
Jamie, have you spotted anything there?
There's no reaction from the bench, no reaction from Xavi Hernandez, and I didn't see that gesture from Frenkie de Jong, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Well, Frenkie de Jong's just been penalised for the challenge on Nemanja Gudeli, and it's a free kick in favour of Sevilla. We're halfway through the first half. No score in the Camp Nou.
Well, it seemed to me they were talking to the bench, saying that time to change, but well, stays on the pitch at the moment.
Navas throws Martial an intelligent ball to Eric Lamela. Lamela cutting inside, taking his time, plays it back to Jordan. Here's Gudeli. Now Rekic. Gudeli again. Juan Jordan. It's played out to Jules Koundé. There's Navas. Always a threat down the right flank, Jesus Navas. Took a deflection off Alba, headed clear by Piqué, and as far as Jules Koundé. He's told by Jordan to send it back for Sevilla to start again. This is one of the longest possessions of the first half. Jordan. Martial back to Gudeli. Ocampos returning it to him. Rakitic back to Diego Carlos. Signs of impatience from the Camp Nou fans as Sevilla enjoy this possession, but they're being forced back step by step by Barcelona. Here's Rekic, thinks about taking on Dembélé and gets away from him well. Still Rekic, it's a good run. Outside in Martial, Lamela pointing for it. Martial in the area, hits it at Araujo, turns round to ask for a handball. Play continues, and Sevilla wasting the moment. Here's Dembélé, danger from the home side, Dembélé. And it's really well defended in the end by Diego Carlos, but you could see him wondering which way is Dembélé going to go. And to my mind, Martial here makes a crucial error. Yes, he hits the ball into the arm of Araujo. The arm, it's impossible to get it more next to your side than that. And all of a sudden, Sevilla losing the impetus, and Barcelona very nearly taking a lead. They do win a corner. Araujo, one of the main dangers for the Sevilla defence. Alves swings the corner in, the defence get it away. Alba back
battling with Juan Jordan, and the ball coming back to De Jong, who finds Alba.
And we'll be talking about what Barcelona are doing, but I think we're just seeing of Sevilla by keeping longer possession. I think that's crucial because most of the time they're going to be defending, they're going to be without the ball. At the time that they have the ball, obviously they have the option to look for a quick counter-attack, but if they're able to keep long possessions, mainly without Lamela getting inside and being the fourth midfielder and linking with the midfielder, it's going to be crucial for Sevilla to have a little longer possession and to have the ball and not to run all the time after Barcelona.
Aubameyang wins the 50-50 ball. It's not his greatest cross. He'll have another opportunity. Headed away by Jules Koundé. Piqué wins it. It comes to Frenkie de Jong. Now Pedri picks out the perfect pass, which is to Dembélé. The cross comes in. It's the back of Rekic. Frenkie de Jong finding Pedri, whose shot floats over the crossbar.
Well, another good attack for Barcelona. It's very difficult for Sevilla to contain that, to hold on, because Barcelona are attacking most of the time through the middle, but there's always Dembélé keeping the width. So Sevilla basically are defending. That's not humble at all. Sevilla are defending inside, not to let Barcelona just put some balls in between the lines, but at the same time, Dembélé is completely wide open. So that's very difficult to defend, and this is what Barcelona are doing.
Well, Sevilla will respond by pointing out that Yassine Bono hasn't had to make a save yet. It's a decent ball into the box. Martial wins a corner. No goal kick has been given, and Anthony Martial.
It was a corner kick, Simon.
I think it was.
He cannot believe the decision.
And neither can Anthony Martial. Here's his appeal for handball. There is, I guess, a little bit of a gap between the arm and the side, but you couldn't say it's in an unnatural position. And play continued and led to a Barcelona counter-attack. Jordan winning it, finds Lamela. Lamela being harried and dispossessed by Pedri. And that earns the applause of the home fans. Fabulous little player Pedri is. We're not telling news there, of course, but he just seems to grow in stature from game to game. Here's Gerard Piqué.
But at the moment, Simon, Sevilla defending well. Barcelona attacking and using, well, all the options that they had, as we said. But, well, Sevilla showing that they are a very difficult team to break, and that's one of the best defenders of defenses of La Liga.
Dani Alves puts the cross in. It's too high for Pedri. Jordan, neat turn from him. And here's Ocampos. It's the ball back from Rekic. Kudeli. I mean, we have to say, Javi, literally the best defence in La Liga. 19 goals conceded. It is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is phenomenal, and that's not only the work of the four defenders, is even the midfielders, players like Joan Jordan, even Ivan Rakitic is very good in defense this season. Obviously Fernando is not available, but when Kudeli plays, it's basically the same. So it's not only the four defenders, the three midfielders are helping along. Even Ocampos, when he has to defend, he defends. So it's like a solid group in defense, also in attack, but in attack had more problems, but a very good team spirit.
Well, Jamie, as a former Barca man, Rakitic much loved here, good friends with Gerard Piqué, but that didn't stop Piqué committing a foul on him there.
Not at all, and by the way, the fans behind Bono's goal have chanted Ivan Rakitic's name. That is because it's the first time he returned to the Camp Nou with fans in the stands. We have to remember that Rakitic is the 5th foreign player with more games wearing the Barca shirt in the entire history of the club.
Good point there, Jamie, and obviously much loved at both clubs. Meanwhile, it's Sevilla on the break. Ocampos. Driver Alves gets into the area, gets around Alves, cuts it back. Just failing to link with Rekic. Busquets was quick to play the ball out to this man, Ousmane Dembélé. Dembélé to Ferran Torres. Look how quickly the Sevilla defence get back and get men behind the ball.
7 players, Simon, already defending.
Well, Alves, ball into the area, just misplaced. Neat turn from Jordan. Martial Back to Jules Koundé. They really are fabulously organised at the back, the Andalusians. Navas. Diego Carlos. And for all of Barcelona's dominance, Sevilla, although perhaps they looked a little edgy in the opening couple of minutes, don't look ruffled at all. They're dealing with whatever Barca have been able to throw at them very comfortably in the main over the opening half hour.
Yeah, exactly. And also in attack, Simon, I think they have changed a little bit, and now Martial is the player that when Sevilla have to start attacking, they also, they of course, need a reference. So Martial drops, hold the balls and play the ball back, so it gives